You guys, welcome back to King Oles. And yes, on March 8th, 2024, on the Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou undercard in the co-main event, it is Zhilei Zhang versus Joseph Parker. And personally, I cannot wait for this fight. I feel like it's the best fight on that card for the WBO interim heavyweight title. This fight needs more promotion. Like, I get it's a co-main event to an already big fight in Joshua and Ngannou, which is getting a fair amount of promotion around it, to be fair. But I mean, I feel like Zhang and Parker needs to be talked about more. This is a massive fight, and overall, I feel like this is one of the best fights to make in the heavyweight division right now, and it finally is going to be happening. There needs to be more hype. There needs to be more people talking about it. I mean, no, to be fair, the fight hypes it up itself, to be fair. Massive fight. But still, though, we need to see more people talking about this one. And, we need to see this fight get the attention that it deserves. And it is a co-main event, yes. But, it's to show that it is a fight that can headline. But still, though, yes, obviously, lots of, good promotion going on with Joshua and Ngannou when this fight is on the undercard. But we need to see more people talking about this fight, though. I get that, yes, Zhang doesn't really speak much English at all, but they could do the kind of gloves are off like they did with Fury and Usyk. I mean, they had a translator with there for Usyk. As well as Usyk talking about. So, I feel like something like that could get a few trailers out there as well for this fight. But apart from that, I just don't really see it being mentioned too much by the promoters either. People need to be talking more about this fight. Give it more attention. That is what I think. This fight needs to be hyped. It needs to be promoted way more than it already is. There's been better promotion for way smaller fights in this, even co-main events. This fight needs more attention. 100% it does. This is an unpredictable matchup, which really could go either way, in my opinion. I'm not going to say my prediction now. I'm going to say it closer to the time because I feel like still need to fully think because I feel like it's a hard one to predict. But it's a good, solid clash of styles, this one. We've got, obviously, Zhang, a real, he's a good knockout artist, isn't he? And a tough southpaw. And you've got Joseph Parker, who can box really well, showed it against Deontay Wilder. It's an interesting clash of styles, to be honest with you. And, especially after Zhang's two big wins over Joe Joyce, there's a lot to talk about with Zhang. So, the promoters need to talk more about it. And then, we saw Joseph Parker's 2023, had a fantastic year, got two wins, then beat Deontay Wilder. Fantastic year. And, he completely just rebuilt himself in 2023. And Zhang, that's the year that Zhang really made the name for himself in 2023. And, in the stories of these two's past year, especially, need to be talked about more. 100% they do. These two guys are now massive names on the scene. Parker's always been quite a big name on the scene. Zhang, still though, he is 40. He's 40 years old. And Zhang's in the prime of his career, just breaking through. Well, now really. Obviously, he got robbed against Hrgovic in 2022 on the AHA. He was on the card. And then obviously, came out and got two massive wins over Joe Joyce, making easy work out of him. And Joe Joyce was the WBO interim champion, which obviously Zhang took away from him. And again, Joe Joyce was a big fan. People were comparing Joe Joyce with quite a few big names in that division. People were putting him in that conversation saying, oh, yeah, stick him in a fight with Fury. And then I've seen people saying that Joe Joyce could have beat AJ, which I don't believe he would have. But again, though, Zhang went on and beat a good British heavyweight in Joe Joyce twice. Did exactly what he needed to do. Zhang's got dangerous power in his hand. He really does. But you got Park on the other hand, who is very smart with his work. So it's just a really interesting fight. We just need to see more people talk about it. get promotion going for it. I mean, we've seen Matchroom doing a few press conferences this week, especially. They've done Taylor Catterall one, the two actually for Taylor Catterall. They've I think they did a Jordan Gills Alpha Barrett one. Then they did like the Jordan Flynn fight press conferences as well, which is, I think, I'm not sure if it's co-main event or just the fight on the undercard for that Gil Alpha Barrett fight. But so they were able to do. So Matchroom hosted a press conference for that fight, that Jordan Flynn one. So why can't they, so we can see something like this here, some kind of press conference for Zhang and Parker. I feel like this fight just needs to be advertised more in general as well, with more on the fight posters. I feel like this fight deserves it. You've got an interim world title fight on the card. This is like, I believe there's two title fights on the card. Vargas, Nick Ball, and this one. So, promote this one more, in my opinion. It's simple. They really do need to, be talking about this one more. Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn need to be talking about this fight a lot more than they are. We're not really seeing this fight being, advertised much on the socials either, of like Matchroom Queensberry. Get this going. This fight deserves recognition. Like, people need to be talking about this one, in my opinion. Get people even more hyped than what they actually are. There's a lot to talk about with these two guys, and there's a lot to say about this matchup as well. A lot to say about this fight. So I don't get why the promoters aren't really talking too much about it. They'll probably do a lot of talking about it on fight week, but hype it up before as well. This fight deserves quite a few weeks of promotion. There's got to be even, the promoters need to be smart with this, with promoting these fights as well, in my opinion. And that's what they need to do here. Like, if we look at the UFC, for example, they hype up like the whole main card, all those fights getting lots of hype. In boxing, it's only really the main event that gets like the real recognition. We need to see fights like in this co-main event, like Zhang and Parker, get some recognition. I mean, even promote like the Ray Vargas and Nick Ball fight more, in my opinion. You need to. That fight deserves talking about. 100% it does. Talk about Mark Chamberlain and Gavin Gwynn as well. That's also on this card. That's a good fight. Good clash of styles, and two up-and-coming British guys. Talk about these fights more. They deserve the hype. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, King Ols. Speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching.